God morning, and let's see if I can do this topic justice. It's an ongoing theme that I hearken upon and I kind of keep repeating because it needs million trillion times repeating because we've had it programmed into us for thousands of years, and which is the knowledge of good and evil on certain states, meaning emotional states or consciousness states. Yesterday I posted something, a picture I really love, which is this little girl in Afghanistan, actually, I think it is, or maybe Mongolia, where she's with a camel and she's just joyfully, totally expressing her excitement about the world. It's such a beautiful picture. And the guy who posted it, I love him, David Avocado Wolf. I think he's been a blessing to the planet, obviously, to help activate people with energy and eating right and thinking right and the new world coming. But there are layers of truth. And this is the book coming out, hopefully, in a month or two. Get Real to Heal. I'm going to be repeating like 20 little chapters or 30 chapters to get real to heal and about our emotions. And this is what happened to me, Spirit, God, Source, Father, Mother, about 20 some odd years ago, after I'd been a good yogi, doing my sadhana, my being a vegetarian, and for a bunch of years. And I'd just woken up from other lifetimes of being a yogi. Spirit changed it. It changed. Here's the view. That's Eagle Rock or coffee pot back there. Love it. We're going up to look out, me and Gabriella, my doggy, to see Cathedral Rock. Ah, sunshine. Yeah, it's a little chilly this morning. So, God basically told me, he said, look at the word emotion. This is 1990, actually, so it's longer. E-motion, energy in motion. And Spirit said, Babaji, Sai Baba, these are the masters I was working with at the time and still do. Thank you, thank you. You've been a good little yogi, Tobias. But there's more to it now, which is to actually reincorporate, i.e. corpus, body, reincorporate the full you, which includes, how could it not, sexuality and emotions. Duh, the universe, or whatever you believe in, designed you with genitals and a huge emotional center that when the emotions are in denial, they run you from denial. But when they are up and open, you have, quote, become ye as little children, as far as being touch, transparent, and honest with exactly how you feel in a healthy way. That's the way to heaven. Jesus, the master, sort of the collective master on the planet, at least in the West, says it. Unless you become as little children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. What, is he fucking lying? Of course he's not. You just need to learn how to interpret that correctly. In fact, is all teachers end up in that place. Buddha's Krishna, obviously, was totally open with his emotion and sexuality. And he was the last king, physical, temporal king on earth that was also an avatar. King Arthur tried it, but he didn't quite make it. He got killed by his own half son, or his son, with Morgana. Mordred was the name of his son. So Krishna was the last time it worked. Solomon didn't do it. He was a wizard. He was stuck in his head. Even though he tried to have 3,000 women to try to open his heart, it didn't work. Am I telling tales out of school? No. I'm telling you what I hear from Spirit. Take it or leave it. It's okay. Teaching told too soon appears crazy. Teaching told too soon appears crazy. I understand that. It's just that I'm doing what I want, or what feels right to me. So, you have a half-truth that it gets trickier and trickier the closer you get. So in our program, it's, oh, be nice. It's all about, everything is love. But the knowledge of good and evil creeps in there and goes, that means I should be nice all the time and I shouldn't feel anything bad. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And that becomes denial mechanisms. We're not allowed to get real to heal. Become these little children. Notice kids. Say 2, 3-year-olds are playing in the sandbox. You know inevitably there's going to be a spade hitting the other one on the head. I'm going to step on your little sandcastle and there's going to be crying and fighting involved. Am I right? Yes. It's going to be punching and then running to our mommy's crying. But it passes very quickly. I never want to see Johnny again. I hate him. I hate him. Then 2 minutes later, can I go play with Johnny again? Why? Because their fucking emotions are in motion. They're moving through. They don't get stuck in the craw. Yeah, I'll forgive you because Jesus says I have to, but I'm not going to forget. That's not forgiveness. That's bitterness. So the vast majority of humans have ended up in damaged and denied mode, arrested development. We don't keep the emotion in motion. The only time you get in trouble is when you stop the motion, when the river doesn't flow, when the current isn't current. Hello? Lords of language are everywhere. It's beautiful. They appeared to me too 20 years ago. These angels that had created all the languages everywhere, and they hide beautiful gems, especially in English, because English is an amalgam, a melting pot language. No accident that English became sort of a global language, because it is a melting pot of the European languages and some of the Romance languages. I know it doesn't have the Oriental stuff. And why does everyone fucking love American music? Why do the Beatles sing in American accent English? You ever think of that? The Beatles aren't singing, oh, hello. No, they're like, why? Oh, because they listen to the blues guys and Little Richard and Elvis? Yeah, sort of, but it just feels better. Why? Not being arrogant about Americanism, not at all. Because there's a collective vibrational sound that feels and sounds better. I know some of people won't like what I just said. So keeping your current. If the river ain't flowing, it's dying. Stagnant pools, that's us. Humans have become stagnant pools. We shoved our shit in the basement. Trying to reconnect. Exactly. That's what the live Facebook is just telling me. So we don't connect. We get disconnected. We shove our shit in the basement. We get hurt for lifetime. Samskaras, karma, sins, whatever you want to call it. And then we just seal it off and go, just make the best of it. Don't open Pandora's Box. Which there's truth to some. You can't open Pandora's Box all at once. But the only way back to innocence, to real connection with transparent heaven openness, is you're going to have to reopen your Pandora's Box. All the disappointments, the sadness, the shit, the fucking trauma, drama, and karma. When you do ayahuasca, she helps you with that. Very, very few humans, hardly anybody I've ever met, is ready and or willing to get Pandora Box, being ego confrontation, ego humbling, to confront another human without it going nuclear. Fuck you and fuck you too, once you hit each other's hot buttons. So it's as yet still a very rare setup to be able to do that. But that's what's coming, because the 30-year meditating in a cave in the Himalayas is not feasible or practicable for the vast majority of the humans. And besides, in a way, it's kind of a denial mechanism. I know, I've done it several lifetimes. My lifetime before this was in a fucking cave, with my asana blanket and my bowl. And that was it. And so I know how to do it. It's when you try to ascend and raise the energies. Ayahuasca is a little different. She showed me how she became awake, expanded. The word enlightenment is almost, we have to get rid of it by now. She expanded. It wasn't a rise. So the book, Get Real to Heal, hopefully within a month or two, it's going to be about this. How to start clearing the Pandora's box in the human way, including sexuality and emotions. Because most tantra and shit is just fucking ghost feeding nowadays. It's not real tantra, not real Kama Desire Sutra, the book on the desires. And I'm just going to give one example. So this saying of, on that picture yesterday, it was 1 minute of anger causes 4 or 5 hours of your immune system being depressed. 1 minute of laughter energizes your healthy immune system for 24 hours. That's true. When you're first coming out of complete thraldom, complete demon graphic slave robot matrix economic slave on the system. That's true. You need to assert a positivity. But that's not freedom. Religion has its place. The military has its place to create discipline. People who have no inner discipline need outer discipline. The Air Force Academy for a friend of mine was a fucking godsend for him. And for my sister, the Air Force was awesome for her. Military has its place, but it's not freedom. You're being told what. So, this is cutting off, and I'm up on the mountain here in Sedona by the airport. So I'm going to finish it up. So basically, that's true on one level. Laughter is really good medicine. Bernie Siegel, yeah, love laughter and medicine, all that. Of course. But then, towards real freedom, it's different. That's the initiation, another level. Jesus had the inner 24. He had women too, not just the 12 men. That was just, sanitized in the Bible. Then he had 121 disciples, and then he had the public. You have the inner teachings and the outer circle teachings. Totally normal with every master and avatar. If you work with me, I'm not saying I'm enlightened. I'm no fucking way near those guys. I'm just getting a glimpse compared to Yogananda, or, I'm getting it direct. I've finally learned, so there's not, I'm pretending to be enlightened or in some ego shit here. All right, apparently I'm on the back side of the mountain here. So the deeper teaching is, if it quits again, it's over. I'll revisit this later, which I do thousands of times anyway. So it's true. Be positive. But then the deeper teaching is include all, quote, the negative and the positive, beyond the knowledge of good and evil. On the way out of paralyzed hell, trauma, drama, and karma, you need to go, yes, it's positive, think positive, laugh, don't avoid the deep emotions that trigger you too much. They overwhelm you. Grief, sadness, suicidal fucking existential terror, okay? Avoid them. True, on the way out. It's like with Alcoholics Anonymous. When you can't handle that level, you need to the only solution is abstaining, abstinence. Don't get near it. Don't start. One day at a time. True, it works. But that's not healing. That's not healing. You haven't healed the wound. It still gets you. Real healing is when you heal the underlying wound in your spirit, in your emotional body. That's a whole nother level of freedom. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. That's why it's a limited audience for what I do. And it's a tricky place. So, yes. So the deeper teaching is, whenever it's done in denial, any emotions in denial will hurt you. That can be laughter. You can laugh derisively. Imagine Satan laughing, making fun of somebody. Is that healthy laughter? She's very friendly. He's very friendly. That obviously is not healthy. Good morning. Come on, Gab. Just keep going. So.
Long trail to go on. Hey, girl.
Oh, we're turning around in a minute. So you can. So, is anger always unhealthy? Obviously not. Sometimes it's really good to get your anger out. Is laughter always healthy? No. Obviously, Satan laughing with delight. You're suffering. That's not healthy. So learn to discern, nuance the deeper teachings. And since this is cutting out off and on, I'll revisit this later. Much more love. One moment of good intention, momentum, truth momentum. Full conscious breath. At the end of the out breath, drop your seed of intention. I want more truth, momentum on the planet. I want the revelations, the revealing. The apocalypse means full divine revelation. I want the fucking apocalypse on earth. Full divine revelation. The veils be gone.